A large number of video games are banned in mainland China due to a number of reasons. Because of the large size of the Chinese video game market, many studios edit the content of their games to conform with the government's standards. But what ones have been banned outright? YouTube, what's good? XhiaGaming here, bringing you a new episode of Top 5. In this episode, we're going to explore some of the games that were banned in mainland China, and why. Starting us off with number 5, Paladins. Since its launch in 2017, Paladins has had a rocky relationship with the Chinese government, finding itself listed on an ethics standards violators list when a Chinese advisory body, the Online Ethics Review Committee, recommended that the government ban it. Other offenders on this list include PUBG, Fortnite, and to a lesser extent, Blizzard's Overwatch. Paladin's violations were originally due to a character's ability to resurrect upon death. Although the game was banned outright for a combination of overly revealing female characters, blood and gore, and vulgar content. According to a statement issued on Chinese social media site Weibo, the game's publisher Tencent and the developer Hi-Rez came to an amicable decision not to renew their contract, with the game eventually shutting down on November 30, 2019. Next up at number 4, we have Command & Conquer Generals. This game managed not only to upset China, but Germany too. Germany did eventually receive a release as a heavily modified version and a 16+ age rating, with the removal of certain missions, real-life political references, and a new release date due to the timeliness of the imminent start of the Iraq War. China, however, opted to stray away altogether for portraying a negative image of China's army, with the game smearing national image and realistic warlike elements. Noted, it's not the only game on this list to do so. The game depicts a near-future scenario in which a fictional terrorist army attacks China with a nuclear strike. The surviving Chinese military and American armed forces must then take the fight to the terrorist army. Players can choose to control the terrorist cell in an attempt to conquer its Chinese and American enemies once and for all. At the halfway point with number 3, Football Manager 2005. With something known as the World Game, you'd think it would be all-inclusive. But apparently that wasn't the case with Football Manager 2005, with the Chinese Ministry of Culture declaring the game was a threat to the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity, with fines of up to $3,600 promised to anyone distributing the game in the region, including websites, shops, and internet cafes. This was in part because of claims of strong protests from Chinese gamers about the inclusion of Taipei region of Taiwan, the Hong Kong-Macau region, and Tibet being recognised as separate countries. Sports Interactive, the game's developer, then worked with Chinese officials to create a version for China and an official release that would meet the local requirements. At the time of launch, Football Manager 2005 then went on to become one of the top 5 fastest selling PC games ever in the UK, as well as breaking Sega Europe's sales record. Coming in at number 2, Battlefield 4. Turns out there was another game threatening national security. EA, the game's developer, was being accused of depicting a form of cultural invasion, with a state-run newspaper, China Military, stating that Battlefield 4 smears China's image. According to a report published on PC Games China's site, China's Ministry of Culture issued a notice prohibiting all materials related to the game in any form, including game downloads, demos, patch downloads, and news reports. Set in the year 2020, Battlefield 4 China Rising features a fictional war in China triggered by Admiral Chang, with plans to overthrow the current government. His success will be supported by Russia, but will bring China to war with the United States, whose relationship with Russia is already tense. The game showcases the US military's fight against the coup and the Chinese Liberation Army. Now that's a serious way to get banned. Coming in at number 1, and possibly the most surprising game on this list, is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Despite being a major hit upon launch and most people's lockdown game of choice when it released in March of 2020, the Chinese community was denied the right to enjoy this life simulation title, since it was never officially released in the country. The reasoning behind this was purely political, after it was used by Hong Kong activists to spread pro-democracy messages. The game allows users to decorate their islands with a pattern creation tool, which some have used to create politically sensitive messages and slogans, which they screenshot and share on social media, as well as through sharing of their island code, inviting people to visit them in-game. Some posts related to the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong attacked Chief Executive Carrie Lam and Chinese President Xi Jinping. This has led players using platforms like Taobao or Pinduoduo to buy the game on the grey market. Alternatively though, some gamers have imported Switches which have the Nintendo eShop set to a different region just to get their hands on the global gaming sensation. Which game on this list surprised you the most? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, as well as liking and subscribing as it really does help the channel grow. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Tap the bell icon after subscribing and you'll never miss a video again. And consider checking out my Facebook page as well for daily gaming updates and news. Thanks guys.
YouTube, what's good? XhiaGaming here, and in this video I'll walk you through some different ways to get skins for either free or with minimal financial investment.